Excuse me, ma'am. Shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Sorry, good noon.
Ma'am, Yuvaraja, ma'am. Organizing team.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So on behalf of Kumnad College of Engineering Technology, I welcome all the participants for ATAL sponsored FDP for day 3, session 8. It's pleasure to welcome our resource person, Dr. K. Suganya Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, National Institute of Technology, Silchar, Assam, on the topic of IoT and AI-based applications. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I request Bhaskar to give short intro about our resource person.
Very good afternoon to all gathered here. The presence of a true spiritual teacher, reading inspiring words and letting in inspiring thought tend to make the mind peaceful. Before going to a session, let me see the short intro about our resource person, Dr. K. Suganya Devi. She obtained her Bachelor of Technology from University of Madras in 2003 and she completed her Master of Technology from Anna University in 2008 and she obtained her doctoral degree from Anna University Chennai at 2014. Her main research areas are image processing, medical image processing, multimedia, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and embedded systems. She possesses 15 years of experiences in teaching as well as in research, both in academic and industrial experts. As a part of her research, she has a collaborations with the international scientists from France and Malaysia. She has published more than 60 publications in SCI journals and international conferences, and she also published 6 books internationally. She acted as a chairperson and delivered special lectures in many international and national conferences, seminars, and workshops. Currently, 10 PhD scholars are doing research under her guidance. She did the several projects and got the patent for her 3 projects in 3 different domains. And she also got a fund from various departments for many projects during her research curriculum. She is one of a gold medalist in MTech degree. She has received a Young Woman Achiever Award from Anna University for her able leadership and administration, and she got various awards during her curriculum. She is a professional membership in an ACEEE, IST, and Indian Science Congress. She is a successful person who had succeeded during from young age itself. Now I request our resource person, Dr. K. Suganya Devi, to deliver her speech on the topic of IoT and AI-based applications. Please, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you, Bhaskar sir, for your nice introduction. So good afternoon to everyone present here. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the entire team, right from the respected chairman, the respected principal, and Dharmalingam sir, Karthikeyan sir, and their entire team for organizing this 1 week ATAL FDP on the wonderful topic IoT, that is Internet of Things. So this is a need of the heart too. So also I would like to thank for this opportunity to share a few words on this ocean. Okay, so shall I present my screen now?
Yes, ma'am, you can share now, ma'am.
Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
I'll be moving to the slideshow. Okay, so let me introduce myself, a brief introduction. I am Dr. K. Suganya Devi, produced by my parents and directed by my husband. As the producer and director goes in hand, I am standing before you. That is, this movie is running successfully. Right. With this, let me enter into this session. So today we are going to see about what is that is blend of IoT and AI based applications. Right. So so in all my lectures, I'll be starting with 2 points. and I'll be ending with 2 points, right? So the first thing I want to register is technology begins with a love for you. So whatever may be the subject, whatever may be the topic, or whatever may be the technology, before you want to learn it, must love it. If you love the technology or the particular subject or any topic or whatever it may be, in turn, it will give you the excellence in it. Okay, so the technology begins with a love for you, and for all the things, the first and primemost thing is the literature. So whatever we are seeing now, we are just seeing on the giants of the shoulders. This is a very beautiful quote of Isaac Newton regarding the literature. That is, if I have seen further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants. So whatever the research we are doing, or whatever the research we are supposed to carry on, and what are the subjects, whatever it may be, any topic or any technology, just have a vast literature of the past, what has happened, and then only you can explore many new things. Okay, so these are all the two things I am registering in the start. Okay, so now I am entering into the topic. So my talk is today revolving around these topics, like right from introduction, that is introduction to the technology, that is IoT and AI, and how the AIT is, that is IoT and AI is blended, and that is next to the what are all the application and current trends. Then healthcare, the some of the applications that I'm going to today see is uh, healthcare, manufacturing, that is industry and robotics, then retail, transportation and logistics, then energy and smart cities, agriculture sector, and challenges. What are all the open challenges we are having in this IoT and AI based applications? Okay, so to start with, um, in I hope in the in I had already given the invited talk on some agriculture sector, IoT in the agriculture sectors. Okay, so in that also I have quoted the thing from the Mahabharata. That is, whatever we are, it is actually a this epic is actually Mahabharata epic is actually a beautiful thing that whatever is here may be found elsewhere, and what is not cannot be found anywhere else. This is a very beautiful epilogue of Mahabharata. Say for example, on those lectures I have discussed about what is the AI, how the AI is connected with the Mahabharata, all those things. Now I am not coming to that point. So, we know the famous five technologies which is now ruling the world, that is the universe, right? The one is the blockchain, next is the machine learning, and the artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and virtual reality. Last but not least, the IoT, that is the Internet of Things. So we can have a very good comparison of these technology with the characters in the Mahabharata. Say, for example, the blockchain, the main property of this blockchain management is it is irreversible, right? I hope everyone will accept this, agree this, that is, it is a irreversible. So Yudhishthira is compared with the blockchain technology. Why? Because he is irreversible, that is, he will be standing in his point, and as he is irreversible, he is truthful and trustworthy. So the important thing in this IoT, that is the big IoT. It is called as big IoT. Big in the course means the IoT along with the big data. Okay, so for this, the main thing which we need is the trustworthy. Okay, so for a better accuracy, so we are moving for the blockchain technology along with the IoT. So the Yudhishthira can be compared with the blockchain technology, and the machine learning. The machine learning, for better accuracy in the machine learning algorithms, we should feed it with the lots and lots of data. So obviously he can be compared with the beam. That is, immense data input generates more intelligent and accurate results, right? He is a very good eater. And if he takes more things, he will be giving a very good output, right? So then artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence can be compared with the Arjun. That is, he is very precise and capable of improvising all the technologies, right? He is a warrior, very good warrior, and he is having capability of having handling all type of equipments in the war, right? So this is nothing but your AI, right? And augmented reality is nothing but that is a coexist, that is existing together of real as well as the virtual world. Okay, so this can be compared with the Nakul. Nakul is having the capacity of mimicking all the animals' voice, as well as he can um, uh, understand its language, kind of thing. So it is a virtual, and he is the real. So these, when these are blended together, it is having a very good beauty. Okay, so this augmented reality can be compared with Nakul. And the virtual reality, I already stated, a best example is the Sanjaya narrating the Kurukshetra war to Dhritarashtra. It is a virtual reality kind of thing. But the character we can compare is Sahadeva. Sahadeva can predict the future, right? So projecting the predictable future in an immersive way is nothing but virtual reality. So it can be compared with the Sahadeva. Last but not least, our topic, that is the Internet of Things. Internet things, right? The network of things that are going to communicate with the help of the internet is nothing but your Internet of Things. So the IoT is always with the gadgets. Some gadgets will be associated for the IoT. Likewise, the Karna is the analogy for this IoT. He comes with the gadgets like is well known to everyone, that is Kavach, that Kavasam and Kundalam, that is Kavach and Kundal. Okay, so like this we can tell many more things from the Mahabharata epic. So to start with, I have mentioned a few from the literature, right? So now coming to our session, that is how the early world of sensors are actually. Any guess or any answers from the participants? I think so. This is the third day. So some ideas you will be having about the history of those things. How the early world of sensors. Any uh, any answers? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am. Ma'am, our participants are unable to speak, ma'am.
Okay, okay,
They can
okay.
only chat, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. So the early world of sensors on those days, that is actually it becomes prevalent, popular in the past 1 or 2 decades, not even 2 decades, for the past decade, right? So initially, the sensors has been deployed to find out the events or the changes, right? To detect the events or changes. Say, for example, uh, it can have the output either in the electrical signal or in the optical signal, like the touch sensitive elevator buttons, right? Touch sensitive elevator buttons, it is an example for the electrical output of the electrical signal. And the lamps that dim or brighten when you touch the base. Okay, it is the output of this sensor is nothing but an optical signal. Okay, so here the point we have to note, no connection between these two devices, right? These two devices or within the devices, or you can say these devices are not connected in the network. It will act individually. That's it. So sensors are developed on those days for specific purpose, that is to detect the events or the changes. That's it. So the data generated from the sensors has not been taken into account, or it has not been stored. Okay, this is the initial stage. Then the operational historian emerged. This historian, what it is what the sensors are operating. No, so the operations and the data generated by the sensors are now stored in the database with timestamp. Okay, so on this time this data has been generated. So like this, a database has been created. So this is the simply next next step, that is the next um, uh, in the evolution, the next stages, they are started to create a database. Okay, then simply having the historical data and viewing the historical data, now they have started to take the real-time data and compare it with the historical data. Then you can generate the value out of it. Okay, generate the value out of the data. Say for example, you can give some alarm, okay, if it crosses some level or that kind of thing. So this is nothing but a real-time data is compared, and this is the next stage in the evolution. Okay, initially the sensors are devised for the particular device to operate and based on the output of the sensor. It has not been taken into account for the database. Next, those things are stored, and next, not only storing the things, then the historic data are started taken into account for the comparison. Okay, now the real value out of the data has been given out, and this causes the IoT to emerge, that is the Internet of Things to emerge. This is the early world of sensors. So now what is IoT? So IoT is nothing but it is the network of things that collects and exchanges information from the environment. Okay, the environment, maybe you can fix anything. It may be if you are deploying the sensors in the agriculture field, then your environment is your field. If you are deploying the sensors in any factory, then your environment is your factory. It is called as a connected factory. Otherwise, if you are deploying the sensors in the hospitals, then it is nothing but the environment is your healthcare. Okay, so it depends upon the place where you are deploying the sensors or the IoT, that is the Internet of Things. So the network of things is nothing but the Internet of Things. As soon as the word network comes, it is nothing but the it denotes the things are going to exchange the information with the help of the network. It may be a Wi-Fi network or it may be a connected anything. Okay, so the practical examples of IoT application today include precision agriculture. I think so I have covered those topics in my earlier lecture. There is the precision agriculture or the digital farming or remote patient monitoring. That is actually, this is actually a very good area, that is the remote patient monitoring. This is especially for the old age people. And driverless cars, now it is a very emerging area, that is the driverless cars. Okay, so practical examples of IoT applications, this is not limited to this, right? So IoT is defined as a system of interrelated physical objects, sensors. Okay, first physical objects will be connected, then sensors will be there. Sensors generates the data. So these data has to be analyzed, and from the analysis, a good decision has to be given out. From the decision, the actuators has to be actuated. That is, the actuators has to be triggered to give the output. What the decision has taken, it should be implemented. No, that can be done with the help of the actuators. Okay, so this is a collection of these things. This is the interrelated physical objects, sensors, actuators, people, services, and the platforms and networks. Not but not least that the networks. So collection of these things are nothing but your IoT. Okay, so the next is AI. You know what is AI? That is the giving. As humans, we are having the capability of intelligence, so we can think of our own, but the machines will not. So so as we are having that thinking capability, we can take the decision based on the situation or the environment, but the machines cannot. So giving such kind of IQ, that is the intelligence, to a machine through some algorithms or through some technique is nothing but the artificial intelligence. Okay, so here you can see these systems working together at a personal level. Nowadays we are coming across with the Apple Siri, right, Alexa, and the fitness trackers. Okay, so as soon as here I am telling the Alexa word, in my phone the Alexa started opening. So this is the technology. Okay, so these things are nothing but the best examples of IoT collects the data. That is, the data has my sound has been recognized. No, so this is one type of IoT. Okay, then along with the AI, it is doing the process. That is different thing. Okay, so this is the AI. Okay, in other words, IoT simply collects the data, and AI processes this data in order to make sense of it. Okay, so this is the AI introduction about the AI and the what to tell, IoT. Now the thing is, why this? That is, with more connected devices, now IoT used it simply to collect the data. So nowadays, earlier days, the sensor kind of thing is different. Nowadays it is having the live streaming of everything. So non-stop data generation has been done by the sensors. Okay, so with more connected devices, more data, that has the potential to provide amazing insights, so insights for the better observation and for the better output, right? So why? Because we are having tons and tons of data. But the challenge, as this is one advantageous point, there is a challenge emerges. What's the challenges? The new challenge is how to analyze it. Say simply having the data is of no use, right? You have to find a better way to understand what the data is. Okay, so there comes the AI, that is making sense of huge amounts of data, is a perfect application for pure AI. So this is the big AI dream. The big AI dream. This is SP is nothing but your signal processing. This is the image processing IP. This is the computer vision and machine learning. And this is the outer set AI. These all of these is interconnected with the IoT. Okay, so this the IoT is not the dedicated topic for any of the discipline. It is the interdisciplinary, as I have stated this earlier in my lecture itself. So when the sensor part comes, it is for the easy people to work, to have a good research on those things. And as soon as the sensors has been deployed in any environment, it is going to generate the data. So those data with a suitable platform, it has to be collected, right? So then the data, the generated data is nothing but your big data. It has to be analyzed. Okay, so with the help of AI, a better data driven decision making can be done. So there the role of computer science comes into the play. So we can have a very good research over it. And after the data driven decision has been done, it has to be come into implementation with the help of the actuators. So as soon as the word actuators comes, the role of electronic and instrumentation, mechanical engineering, so those come into play. So it is a interdisciplinary kind of thing. So the IoT is not dedicated to any particular discipline. Okay, that's why I have put this. This is signal processing, image, CVML, and AI. So this is a combination of different disciplines, right? So the big data explosion, right? The thing I want to state here in big data explosion is, since 2012, that is not even one decade, two major changes have shaken the sensor world and caused the IoT market to mature rapidly. The first changes, sensors shrank. That is, as years go on, as the months go on, even as the days go on, the size of the sensors is shrinking. Right now, you are having the sensors that you can deploy even in the clothes. Okay, this is the first change in the sensor world. And the second change is communications improved. On those days, there is no proper facility for sharing of data. Though the sensors have the capability to generate more data, there is no proper facility for sharing of data. That is, the networks are poor. Why in nowadays we are having the even the printers, the Wi-Fi printers. On those days, we don't have the printers on the Wi-Fi, right? So the network facility is poor on those days. So devices connected through IoT appear in many settings like cars and factories, households, retail shops, and wearables, and so on. So these things stream massive amount of data from the sensors they contain, and they do it in non-stop with a constantly changing data stream that has sparked the creation of new services, monetization opportunities, better efficiency, and more competitive business models in this world. So the data from sensors and IoT devices is used by trillions of other devices. Say, for example, the data generated from this chip, it is not only used here. It can be some sensor data are openly available, and it has been assisted by trillions of other devices for making a better data-driven decisions. Okay, so it is used by trillions of other devices, people, even the organizations and other places. So while this trillion node network poses many challenges, opportunities also become abound now. So you are having plenty of opportunities and avenues to work on this IoT sector itself. Okay, in different domains, in each and every domain is having its own challenges, right from the healthcare or a manufacturing or a retail or even the government. So each and everything is having its own challenges to work with. Okay, so those organizations that are prepared to collect, process, and analyze these data reaches the height that they were never imagined. Okay, so before starting into the AI, IoT and AI, the whatever may be the company or whatever may be the organization, so they should be ready to do those things. Okay, so these are all the 4 V's. That is the big data. What we are talking about, the explosion, it is having these properties. So the technology or the organization should have the capability to manage these 4 V's. The first V is volume, the second V is variety, and the third V is velocity, and the fourth V, last but not least, is veracity. So the first one is volume. Obviously, you people know tons and tons of data has been generated. So they should have the capability to access and store and analyze these data. So that is the first thing. The second is variety. So the data that the sensors are generating, right, the connected devices are generating, may be of any variety, any type. It may be a structured, it may be unstructured, so it may be a semi-structured. So the data lake will be produced, and the organization should have the capability to handle those things. The next one is velocity. So how fast the data are generated. So how fast, in the same manner, how fast we can predict the results or predict the observations from those data. That is the velocity. And the last is veracity. Veracity is a conformity of the truthfulness. As such, the raw data of the IoT is very dirty. Very dirty in the sense, so many unwanted data will be there. So all the data has not to be taken into account. So for the better accuracy, the truthfulness, that is the trustworthiness, has to be ensured. So for this, we can have the blend of blockchain and IoT for the trustworthiness. So this is the last, that is the filtering concept has to be done in this IoT data. That is the veracity. So the organization or any organization should have the capability to manage these 4 V's of the big data explosion. That is the volume, variety, velocity, and veracity. So why this IoT? Now you know what is IoT. It is network of things, right? It is just producing the data and it is communicating in the cloud, that we know. AI, you know, that is the giving intelligence to a machine. That is the machine is learning, okay, like the humans. So these 2 technologies we know. Why it should be blended? Okay, the reason behind this blendness is the IoT is helping in prominently capturing a tremendous amount of data. The convergence of this AI and IoT can redefine the way industries, business, and economies functions. That is, AI-enabled IoT creates intelligent machines that simulate smart behavior and supports in decision making. Okay, that is the prime most thing. That is simply, as I said earlier, simply collecting the data is of no use. So you have to come with some value out of that data. So those things can be done with the help of the AI. Okay, so AI enabled IoT creates intelligent machines that simulate smart behavior and supports in decision making with little or even no human interference. Okay, nowadays the automotive kind of thing in yeah, right from the health sector to all the fields, almost in all the fields, the robotics are doing everything. That is without the human intervention. While IoT deals with devices interacting using the internet, AI makes the devices learn from their data and experience. Very beautiful thing this is. IoT deals with devices interacting using the internet, all the devices. Okay, so AI makes the devices learn from their data. It is the network of devices in the IoT that is interacting, the all the devices are interacting. If you just imagine, if all the devices have the capability to make the decision of their own, then it is a very wonderful thing. Okay, so that's why this IoT and AI is blended. The next is about increasing why nowadays it is having the IoT and AI is having increased popularity. That is already the recent tech trend survey has been made, and based on that survey, it has been found that most popular technology currently using is the first is IoT. That is, in general, we are having many technologies, other edge computing, AI, that is the machine learning, and IoT. So among these, the popular technology currently using, that is used by everyone, is IoT first, and next is the machine learning. In that, the technologies companies are investing in is again the AI and the IoT. First is AI, the next is IoT. So the blending of these things happens here, and this is why the popularity of IoT and AI based application comes into scenario. And obviously you know these.
இந்த விவரம் தானா என் மூலதனம். நான் உனக்கு தர்றது சோறு இல்ல தம்பி, இம்ப்ரமேஷன். இம்ப்ரமேஷன் இஸ் வெல்த்.
ஏதாவது சாதிச்சே ஆகணும். அப்டேட் யுவர் செல்ஃப். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இஸ் வெல்த். குட் லக். ஜெய் ஹிந்த்.
Whether this video is audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay, thank you. So this is the because that the IoT, the blending of IoT and AI based application is now prevalently rules all over the sectors. Okay, this is the reason behind this. That is where the AI unlocked the IoT, right? The AI unlocked the IoT. This is actually the functional view of AI and IoT. First, as I said earlier, the sensors are deployed. It creates the data, right? Over the network, it is communicating the data over the network, and then the aggregate, that is the integration, has been made from those data, and the analysis, that is augmented intelligence, has been given and analysis has been carried out. Last, the actuators, that is the augmented behavior, that is after the decision has been made, it is implemented with the help of the actuators, that is the act. Okay, so the value of the act depends on the penultimate analysis, that is the the act is, we can tell this is working good. How we can tell this is depends upon the analysis it has been made. Okay, so hence the precise value of the act is nothing but the IoT. The precise value of this IoT is determined at its analysis step. This is where the AI technology portrays a crucial role. Okay, so next. So the artificial intelligent IoT succeeds in achieving the following agile solutions. One is manage, analyze, and obtain meaningful insights from the data. So you are having a big data, so you have to get the meaningful insights from those data. This is the first one. Not only this, you have to ensure fast and accurate analysis. Nowadays, that matters, especially in the healthcare sectors, and balance requirements for localized and centralized intelligence, and balance personalization with confidentiality and data privacy. Yeah, everywhere. Why? Because the IoT entirely depends upon the cloud. As soon as we are talking about the cloud, there the personalization with confidentiality and data privacy is the primemost thing, and maintain security against cyber attack. So these are all the some of the things where the AI and IoT succeeds in achieving these solutions for these things. So by applying the analytic capabilities of AI, that is the analytic capabilities of AI to the collected IoT data, companies can identify and understand patterns and make more informed decisions. Okay, so examples of this IoT data, or some examples are in smart cities. These data, that is the IoT enabled AI enabled IoT data, these can be used to predict the accidents, the road conditions, and the traffic and the crimes. Okay, in case of the smart cities. And in health sector, these can be used for the real-time insight of the patient's information, right from the pacemakers or in the biochips kind of thing. And in case of the industries, that is the manufacturing sector, these AI-enabled IoT data can be used to optimize the productivity and lower maintenance cost. Okay, so on the lower maintenance cost on the equipment and the machinery, as well as it can be used to analyze the fault, that is the predictive fault analysis we can do in the manufacturing sector. Then the data that creates truly smart homes. Nowadays, this smart home is a very prevalent thing. Even if you are trying to buy any oven or a AC or a washing machine, all these are coming with the Alexa, right? So this is nothing but the smart homes with connected appliances, and data that provides critical communication between self-driving cars. One car, suppose we are having a self-driving car. Actually, the car in front or the behind which is running on the road, it is also a self-driving car, means there should be a communication between those self-driving cars in order to avoid the collisions. Okay, so though for these kind of thing also, we are the AI enabled IoT data is very much useful. But to have the full benefits of the IoT data, we should, I already stated, from the sensors we are getting a big data. Okay, so the speed of analyzing the big data has to be improved. Also, it should not compromise the accuracy. While I am doing it quickly, I should not have the compromise with the accuracy. So speed of big data analysis plus the accuracy of the big data analysis, if we have the better in these things, then we can have the full benefit of this IoT data. So coming to IoT data analysis, that is AI and IoT data analysis. So there are 6 type of IoT data analysis where AI can help. The first thing is in data preparation, IoT data preparation. Like I already stated, dark data and dark data lakes are the 2 things. The dark data is nothing but the data yet to be processed. That is the untouched or untapped data is nothing but your dark data. And in processing, in preparing the dark data, AI can help. AI can comes into the picture. And the data lakes, the normal data warehouse, the databases, the data what we are storing is nothing but the structured data. But IoT data, the sensors that are giving out the data, it may be a structured or it may be a semi-structured or it may be a totally unstructured. So these are nothing but the data lakes. So in order to prepare the data from the data lakes or from the dark data, the IoT, that is the AI, comes into the picture, and we can use AI algorithms, that is the machine learning algorithms, to prepare those data. That is what data actually matters and what does not contribute to your goal. So these things can be done with the help of the AI. That is the data discovery. Finding useful data in the defined pools of data. That is actually I have stated earlier. Okay, so next is the visualization of streaming data. As I already told you, in earlier in the sensor world, there is no streaming kind of thing. But nowadays, all the sensors are giving the non-stop data. That is called as a streaming data. So how you can visualize this streaming data? On the fly, dealing with streaming data by defining, discovering data and visualizing it in the smart ways to make it easy for the decision making process, like this. Actually, it is one kind of visualization. This is for the industry. For likewise, for each and in health sectors also, you will be having the report of a single patient in different modes. It may be from imaging mode like CT scan or MRI scan. Likewise, it may be from a blood report. It is a mere text. Okay, so prescriptions, so all these things to be visualized parallelly, then you for a better diagnosis and a better treatment therapy. Okay, so visualization, in visualization also the AI can contribute. Okay, how it can be, how the data can be visualized. Okay, in the IoT data. Then the time series accuracy of data, that is keeping the level of confidence in data collected high with high accuracy and integrity of data. That is the time series accuracy. With the help of this, you can do the better accuracy of data. And predictive and advanced analytics. Predictive and advanced analytics is the descriptive analytics is nothing but what happened. So from the past data, we can know what has happened. So why it is happened is nothing but diagnosis. Say for example, doctor is diagnosing the disease. Diagnosing means why it happens. We know what happens. We will be telling the symptoms. So the diagnosis part is done by the doctors. That is why it has happened. So what will happen is nothing but your predictive analytics. Now the predictive analytics is a very good thing. Even in medical sectors, that is in healthcare, before we are having the symptoms based on our past history and the current vitals, the doctors can, with the help of this AI enabled IoT data, IoTs, the doctors can predict what will be in the future. So for example, if you are in the borderline and based on our food habits and the weight, all those things, the doctors will be advising us that you are prone to a diabetic. Nowadays, it is a quite common thing. Okay, this is nothing but the predictive analysis. So there also the AI can give its contribution for the IoT, that is the Internet of Things. Then comes the real-time geospatial and location. Geospatial and location, the hyperspectral imageries plays the vital role in this geospatial data for traffic analysis and for identifying what the objects in the satellite imagery, all those things. So in this also, there is a marinating the flow of data smooth under the control. This is the geospatial, that is the location. When we are traveling, if we simply ask what is the nearest hotel in the Google, okay Google, so it will be listing all those things. So there comes the natural language processing, that that has been taken, the questions has been taken and the corresponding answers has been given. So those kind of things, right? This is the real-time geospatial and location data, that is the logistical data. So up to this, we have seen some introduction about what is AI, what is the IoT, and how it is blended, where the AI unlocked the IoT, okay, and where in which parts there are 6 type of things in the IoT, that is the data preparation. Why? Because it is a ocean of data. This is called as, even we can call it as a data tsunami. Okay, so in these things, in preparation, in a discovery, or in the predictive analytics and so on, so where the AI can give its contribution to the IoT. So these things we have seen. Now we are coming to the AI in IoT applications. So I already stated it is a visual big data. So we are having a big data. This, for example, it will allow computers to gain a deeper understanding of images on the screen with new AI applications that understand the context of images. Okay, so this is applicable even for the monitoring, surveillance. Someone is in CCTV, we are finding someone is having a hidden weapons like knife or those things, and they are entering into the ATM. We can have some sensors to give an alarm to the security. So these kind of things could be done. Okay, that is the visual big data. And cognitive systems, like cognition is nothing but thinking. So like humans, the machine should have the capacity to think like humans. Say for example, we are going for a hotel, means we should have a individual optimized menu for us, like based on our taste. Say for example, we are frequently going to that hotel, means they should have some kind of thing even from the menu card. Okay, what the menu we are selecting, based on that the machine has to be trained to know our taste. So this is nothing but a simple example of a cognitive system. And likewise newer sensors. So this is a very good area for the easy people to work on, that is the newer sensors. In what way we can give a newer sensor? Say for example, in agriculture, to know the fertility of the soil, to know the irrigation, to know the plant quality, that is the plant stress, whether it is having some disease or not. For n number of sensors you can devise. Okay, so newer sensors and connected and remote operations. Last but not least, it is a prevented predictive maintenance. Prevented and predictive maintenance. So in these things, in these IoT applications, AI is there. It is not, I am not telling it is it can contribute. It is there already in these applications. Okay. So what are all the main benefits of this AI-enabled IoT? First is boosting operational efficiency. That is, for example, I am having a mission. Okay, so if suppose the mission is fault all in a sudden, what happens? The downtime has happened. That is, the entire factory will be in the shutdown for a while, or if it may be for a 1 day, or it may be for a week. It depends upon the mission that causes the downtime. Okay, so for this we can have some kind of sensors to analyze the runtime of the machinery, whether any slowdown is happening or not. All those things can be done. So in order to improve the efficiency of the operation of that particular machinery. Okay, this is nothing but your boosting operational efficiency. Um, so hence, intelligent IoT offers an insight into which processes are redundant, or it is a time consuming, or which task can be fine tuned. So these are nothing but, so for example, repeatedly you doing a thing, instead of doing the thing repeatedly, I can do once and I can tell this much time it has to be repeated. So this is one kind of a operational efficiency. If I am doing so, obviously thereby I am reducing the time also. Okay, so this is a redundant and time consuming process can be identified and fine tuned to enhance the efficiency. For example, Google brings the power of AI into IoT to reduce its data center cooling cost. Next, the better risk management. For example, to handle the financial loss, employee safety, and cyber threats. Employee safety in the sense, the Fujitsu is a well-known workstation computers. So, for example, in those organizations, they are having the connectable, that is connected wearable devices for their employees to ensure their safety. Okay, so ensure worker safety by engaging AI for analyzing data sourced from connected wearable devices of their employee. So this is one example for the risk management. And triggering new and enhanced products and services. As I said earlier, NLP, that is the natural language processing, that we are telling the Siri or Alexa, right? So whatever we are telling, it is taken as a questionnaire and the corresponding answer has been given. Oh, this is one form of natural language processing. Is getting better at allowing people to communicate with devices. Undeniably, IoT and AI together can directly create new products or enhance the existing products and services by enabling the business to rapidly process and analyze the data. And with the help of this AI and IoT, we can increase the scalability of the sensors. Okay, and last, it eliminates costly unplanned downtime. Unplanned downtime, regarding this I have stated in the first benefit itself. Okay, that is the maximizing the improving the operational efficiency. That time itself I have told about this unplanned downtime. So the predictive maintenance with AI enabled IoT allows you to predict the equipment failure in advance and schedule the orderly maintained procedures. Okay, so this is because of this, it is a one good example. The Deloitte, for example, finds the following results with AI and IoT, that is 20 to 50% reductions in the time invested in maintenance, 10% to 20% increase in equipment availability and uptime, and maintenance cost they have reduced it to 5 to 10%. So these are some of the benefits. So I'll be showing these things in each and every category with the help of the videos so that you can easily understand those things. So these are all the not limited to, these are all some of the applications of the AI and IoT. The first primemost application is healthcare. Why? Because even many of our people, many of our participants too, they'll be wearing the smartwatch, right? The smartwatch is, the name itself is smart Smart means it is going to track your activity, and based on your activity, it is going to give some good decisions, good data driven decisions for you. It is underlined, it is a data driven decision. As soon as the word data driven comes into the play, it is nothing but the IoT. Okay, so this is the healthcare. Then in manufacturing sector, it is about the robotics, and in cities and towns is smart cities, and even the transportation and logistics, that is the connected vehicle. They will be calling it as a connected vehicle. And then the government, and how the AI and IoT can be used in energy sector, agriculture, and retail. That is the retail stores. That is based upon our customers view or customers purchase, how it helps the retail shops to increase their income. That is the uh, profit. Okay, so these are all the some of the things we are going to see now. That is IoT in healthcare. So normal in the IoT in healthcare, it is called as IoMT. IoMT is Internet of Medical Things. Okay, so patients today expect more personalized interactions as well as customized therapies that are effective and cost efficient. But you just imagine, this is a COVID pandemic time actually. So in those days, uh, during the peak of its, if I am correct, from March, April, even May, June, up to these 4 months, the regular checkups for the people, for the old age peoples, or even the people who are having the diabetic or some other regular checkups, even for that, the patients are not allowed inside the hospital. So that time, the actually the patients are in need of personalized interactions. Okay, so that now at the situation we have encountered the telemedicine kind of thing. That is, we can have a video call with some nearby doctors or your regular doctors if they permit. Okay, and all those things, the customized therapies have been suggested from the in the online mode itself. Even the healthcare is started running its show in the online mode, like the academicians. What we are doing now, it is the online mode only. So these things, this is the actual challenge. The digitization of the healthcare industry, from patients to clinical infrastructure, provides the unprecedented opportunities to transform delivery and meet the challenges of cost, quality, and access. So in the you just imagine, you are having the old age people at your home. So what you are actually working, you are coming for the work, right? So you will be worrying what they are doing, whether they are falling down, or some kind of thing may happen, whether their BP suddenly shoot up, or the blood glucose level may goes down. So on those things, we can, this IoT in healthcare is a very good solution. We can have a connected wearable devices for the old age people, and their all their activity can be monitored uh, with the connected hospitals. Okay, so this is the first thing. This is the solution two, that is the maximize the how the IoT analytic solutions can help in the automation. One is, we can embed the Internet of Medical Things. That is, I am not calling it IoT, it is IoMT. That is the Internet of Medical Things within the decision support system. Okay, whatever may be your decision support system, it may be your mobile, then the embed Internet of Medical Thing analytics is nothing but some app kind of thing. It should tell, okay, the data will be sent to the hospital, to the concerned doctor, and he will be replying this in your mobile. Okay, so now your BP has been shooted, or some kind of, if they fell down, some kind of alarm has to be sent to the hospital doctors, or or any caretakers, not even the doctors, some caretakers. Okay, so those things can be done. That is, embed IoMT analytics within decision support system, drive innovation in patient care and operations. So many innovations, even in this connected wearable device itself, you can include more and more and more options based on the patient care. Okay, so this is the drive innovation in patient care and operations and maximize value from IoT data. Value in the sense output, that is the after analysis you are having one act, no, that is called as value. So maximize the value from IoT data. So this could be achieved with the help of this cutting edge technologies, that is cutting edge IoT technologies, that is sense what matters. So perform real-time analytics on patient healthcare data so you can act quickly and accurately to reduce alarm fatigue in hospitals. Alarm, that is sometimes you will be having one threshold. So as soon as the threshold is reached, it will be giving the alarms. Because of the fault in the sensor also, some alarms, false alarms will be generated, which distracts the nurses or even the doctors or any caretakers, thereby the time as well as the resources as well as the human powers, that is human resource, has been wasted. So sense what matters. So this is the one thing. And the understand the signals in the data. Say for example, we are doing a research in collaboration with the KNCET hospital here. Usually we know the medical image, my field of research is medical image processing. So medical images, as soon as the word comes, what you will be lingering in your mind. So I'll be dealing with the CT images or a MRI images or a PET or mammograms, X-rays kind of thing. But behind this, how these images are created? These images are created with the help of some signals. Okay, so the signals in those data can also be understand before the image has been made. Okay, so understand the signals in data and the combine IoT data with other sources that add context, so you can detect safety signals and clinical events and proactively optimize health resources. Here it is proactive, not a reactive. Proactive means taking the decision before the event occurs. Reaction means once the event occurs, after that you will be acting, you will be taking the decision. Okay, this is a proactive kind of thing, that is understand with the help of the signals we can do it and act with speed and confidence. So that is with the help of the collaboration with the clinician. Say for example, I already told you, you are having a connected wearable device for the old age people at your home. So collaboration between clinicians, data scientists, facilities in the hospital, and the IT leaders to optimize the care delivery ecosystem and drive better patient outcomes. And I'll be showing this to you. This is a very good example of the IoT. Two persons are there, one is Anna and another one is Dr. Lee. Now Anna is not feeling well. She should be putting her symptoms in the portal. Now the Dr. Lee receives an alert about Anna's symptoms. So thus it simplifies the communication. Instead of going directly to the hospital, Anna speaks to Dr. based on the history, he will see whether he will be able to, it will work out or not. Hospital and code is the major thing. Okay, so this is the actual scenario of the IoT in healthcare, that is hospital at home. Okay, so thereby it is reducing the communication cost. It is reducing. Better communication has been made without one-to-one interaction. Interaction is in person. Okay, without the mobility. To adapt to it is without the mobility, we can have a one-to-one interaction with the patient as well as the doctors. And also they can easily why? Because everything is IoT based and all the data has been collected. So for a future reference also we can have this. So what the pills they have taken, why this has happened, for the better diagnosis, and what type of treatment therapy can be given, and what the pills will be suitable for them. Okay, it should not make some allergy kind of thing. So all the things can be taken care. And also we can track them. This is the major challenge in the healthcare sector. That is, once, say for example, I am going to the hospital for some kind of a fever kind of thing, or some diseases. So once I have started taking the medicine, first time I'll be going and I'll be started taking the medicine. If it is okay for me, I'll not go for the even for the follow-up. I will not go after a week and I will not tell the doctor that I am okay with your medicine. This is a quite common thing. This is nothing but the challenge in health sector, that is the tracking. If it is a normal fever or it is a normal some frequent diseases, means it is okay. Say imagine for a cancer patient, this is actually a challenging task. Why? Because for the first thing, they are running breadwinner. They may be a breadwinner for that family. Okay, so breadwinner in the sense they has to yearn for their family. So if cancer affects those patients, for the initial treatment they will be coming, after that they won't come. So the doctors too, they don't know what is the actual condition of the patient right now. Okay, so this is the another thing, that is the tracking. So for this also, if everything is done with the help of this IoT, it is easy for the doctors to track the patients and track the diseases. Okay, so this is one kind of advantage in this. So that the IoT can contribute in the health sector in two ways. One is for the operational improvement, and other is for the clinical improvement. The operational improvements are nothing but that is, for example, you are having an MRI machine. Okay, so you can have a proper schedule for this MRI, so that you effectively use this MRI machine for the patient's allotted. This is one kind of example for the operational improvements. Likewise, I already told you there is the alert fatigue in clinical care delivery, and patient care and safety. That is, this IoT in healthcare has many ways to improve patient care and safety. For example, you can imagine hospitals can use smart connected monitoring devices that are linked to patient records. So not only at the counter, that is the reception side. If imagine the patient's records are available in all the machines available in the hospital, then it is a smart hospital. Okay, so they can link it to patient records, pharmacy assistance, room allocation. Even suppose I am having a known doctor, so I can ask them, so I can be allotted this room, means he can easily see in his system itself for the room allocation. Likewise, nursing staff schedules, that is the day duty or night duty kind of thing for the nurses. So all these things are linked in all the systems in the hospital. This is a smart hospital, and the sensors in these smart devices collect data which is integrated with other medical device, so that if that is the case, you can use your machineries available in the hospitals effectively. This is one kind of operational improvements. Regarding the clinical improvements, this is useful for the better diagnosis as well as for the better treatment therapy. Okay, this is the clinical improvement. So you can contribute the AI enabled IoT either for the operational improvement in the health sector, that is, you can concentrate the sensors for the operational improvement kind of thing, that is allotting the staff or a mission or the pharmacy, even the kind of pills, out of stock pills, all those things. Otherwise, these matters the objects. Otherwise, the clinical improvements, that is, you can aid the doctors for the better diagnosis or for the better treatment therapy. So two things you can do in the health sector. You can contribute via the Internet of Things. So this is the better patient outcomes and lower cost that I have told you already. So this is, please watch this video. I want to insist, or I want to register important research attribute in this video. Okay, you watch this now.
Medical imaging really makes visible what otherwise would remain hidden, and it has already become a key technology in medicine. With a modern 3D ultrasound, for example, I was able to see my daughter 6 weeks before she was born, and actually I got very well prepared for her mood. But the way doctors look at these images is quite different from how you and I would look at them. Doctors get very long and hard training to become incredibly skilled in seeing critical patterns in these images, to tell the difference between healthy development and disease, and to see whether a treatment works or not. But some diseases are so complex that looking at a single image is not enough to fully understand what's going on. And this is where it gets really tricky. So a brain injury, for instance, might show in one image. But to really understand, to get the full picture of the disease, you need to take multiple images, multiple scans with different techniques, so doctors can make a decision. But there's a problem, because reading those complex images is not only very time-consuming, but it really pushes human abilities to the limit. And patterns of disease can often be so complex and subtle that it's really difficult to get it from the images. Brain tumors, for example, they can appear almost anywhere in the brain with very different sizes and structures and shapes. It's very difficult to understand exactly what's going on. And often it's not enough to make a tumor visible, but we need to measure what's going on. For instance, tumor size. It's very important to make a decision whether you do surgery or other options. But tumor size alone is not enough. We need to understand what's happening inside the tumor. For instance, do active parts become inactive when you give a particular drug? Now, this is really important information that doctors need to make the right decision at the right time. And without that information, there is a real risk that critical patterns of disease go undetected. How do we help doctors and make best use of these images? And putting it all together is really challenging, but this is the challenge that we are taking on in my lab at Imperial College. We ask, what if we could train a machine to help us read those images, to detect patterns that humans find difficult to see? And can we even go beyond this? Often we don't know what we are looking for in those images. What are the patterns that describe a disease? Can we build an intelligent machine that can help us find those patterns? Just a couple of months ago, we have all seen a machine beat yet another human world champion in yet another board game. But what was really exciting about this achievement was that the machine's skills were not acquired by programming, but by learning. So the Go-playing machine has learned by playing millions of games to detect patterns of great gameplay. And our machine learns by viewing thousands of medical scans. And one of our first big achievements was being able to train a machine to recognize all major organs with an accuracy of a human expert. Now that's really important, because now the machine understands what is visible in the image. So we took this further. We then trained a machine that could search through multiple...
Here I am stopping. So, so as already it is known, actually I have a question for the participants, that is, what actually you have inferred from this video? What the thing? Actually a very good research oriented aspect has been discussed here. I don't know how many of you people have grabbed this. The first thing is, you have to think in a retrospective way in the sense, usually what we will do for some medical image analysis, what you people will do, say for example cancer detection, that is a brain tumor detection. Actually the normal traditional approaches, we will be taking the image of a brain tumor patient, and we will be trying to locate where the tumor is. This is the traditional approaches till now it has been carried out. So here what they have stated is actually what the contribution from our side we can do is, nowadays it is a well-known thing, the robots are doing the surgery. Actually the values has been fed to the robot, so that the robot is nowadays doing the surgery. Okay, so for those things as soon as the robotics comes into the play, the internet of things is also there. Okay, so as a human, though they may be the doctors, they are also having some kind of problem in finding the critical patterns. But if a machine is well trained, okay, those critical patterns can also be found with the help of the machines. This is the first thing. So there you can give your contribution. The second thing is, what the retrospective way it is stated here is, instead of training the machine to find out the abnormalities, they have trained the machine to find the normal one. That is, as soon as the images are fed, it knows, the machines are now well trained to determine the organs. Though this is how the normal brain will be, this is how the normal lungs will be, this is how the normal liver will be. Like this, you can train the machine for the normal, and as soon as it knows this is the normal, if any abnormal or not even a single, even a small tiny abnormality is there in the particular image, it is easily identified by the machine. I hope everyone will agree with this point. Okay, so why? Because also the challenge here is getting the normal data is easy, but getting the abnormal data, that is the even the cancer data, cancer images, right? Or it may be any abnormality in lungs, or it may be in intestine, in a colonoscopy images, or in a OCT images, any kind of images, or any data. Like getting the abnormal is difficult. Say for example, I want to fuse the CT and MRI of the same patient. I don't know whether the patient is having both. Okay, so these kind of challenges will be there when we are entering into the AI, that is the machine learning part or deep learning part. So in order to avoid these things, we can think in the retrospective way, that is training the machines to know the normal conditions rather than the abnormal conditions. So this is the one thing I want to register here in this IoT in healthcare, that is normally in healthcare diagnosis. Okay, so in summary of this IoT in healthcare, so these are all the key points I want to insist, that is foreseeing patient problems before they even experience symptoms. This is called as the booming is custom vaccination for cancer. I don't know how many of you come across this word, that is custom vaccination for cancer. You can Google it. It is one of the this approach, that is a foreseeing patient problems before they even experiencing symptoms, could avert adverse events together. So how we can do this, whether it is possible to have this predictive capabilities? Yes, with the help of this IoT data, we can predict the future diseases. Okay, that is with the help of it is entirely the different thing, that is the data collected from the genomics, that is the computational biology. So with that also you can do the things. High performance analytics environment is designed to examine complex questions and produce the models. So this is the one thing we can do in the healthcare, that is the predictive analysis of the future diseases. For that, what type of contributions we can give in with the help of the IoT. The next comes this manufacturing. So manufacturing, here the IoT is called as industrial Internet of Things. There it is Internet of medical things. Here it is industrial Internet of Things. That is process, that is from supply chain. That supply chain is start. Supply chain to the end is delivery. From the supply chain to delivery, in all phases, the IoT plays a major role in manufacturing, that is in industrial production process and data, that is the product. Okay, so advanced IoT sensors in factory machines or warehouse shelves, along with big data analytics and predictive modeling, can prevent defects and downtime. I already stated this. Maximize equipment performance. Why? Because some machine is running more out of its hours. Okay, it can be detected. Why? Because if it is connected devices, those things can be captured, and we can have a better, if you are having a better analysis model in your system, it will tell that it is overloaded or it is a work to overtime. All these things, based on that we can have some decision metrics. So it can, based on these analysis, you can improve the lifetime of the machine. Also you can maximize the equipment performance, that cut warranty cost, boost production yield, and enhance the customer experience. So the major challenges are, many manufacturers are still finding this industrial IoT, that is industrial IoT adoption, a challenge. Why? Because not knowing where to start or which automated process will prove to be the most advantageous. This itself will become a question mark. Okay, so but there are tremendous potential for enhancing production levels and driving a variety of other innovations. So at last, for achieving higher levels of efficiency and proactive rather than reactive interventions. Here also it is proactive. You just imagine, before the failure, if you find the things that it is now, it is going to have a downtime, you can have some other alternative measures. This is a proactive. Even after the downtime, you can have the proactive reactive measures, but meanwhile you will be having some loss in your production, right? Production yield. So these can be avoided. This is the main difference between the proactive intervention and the reactive intervention in the manufacturing industry. So these are all the things that can be achieved with these cutting edges. The cutting edge IoT capabilities are enterprise quality data management, that is integrate structured and unstructured quality related data from all sources of the connected devices. Also, the root cause analysis. What is the, if you know the downtime, this machine is going to have its downtime. What is the root cause for it? Okay, so these things can also be visualized with the help of the AI-enabled IoT data. And last, it is advanced early warning analytics. Identify potential issues early, even before they occur. Not only in the healthcare, in the machinery also, the downtime is going to occur for this machine. This also can be well known on the hand in the advanced early warning analytics. This is with the help of the cutting edge IoT capabilities with embedded AI that enable these things. Okay, so with these cutting edges, what the things you can have in the manufacturing industry is, you can improve the production yield while lowering the maintenance cost. You can reduce warranty cost and lessen their impact. Likewise, you can measure customer perception of quality. These things can be done. So if you watch this video, you can have a better understanding of this, what I have shared with you. So just watch this.
How analytics fit into the industrial Internet of Things. I'm Dave Froning from SAS, and I've loved manufacturing for more than 20 years. Industrial companies wrestle with really difficult problems, from complex supply chains to motion applications to labor constraints and equipment breakdowns every single day. For manufacturers, solving problems is nothing new. However, with IoT, competitive organizations are finding new cost savings and revenue opportunities. Instead of their flood of data becoming an overwhelming challenge, with analytics, it's become an asset. Analytics help operations sense what's important, understand where value can be generated.
This is a particular part has been taken, and its hour of operation has been retrieved. Okay, so based on this, we can know the capacity of this machine. So how much time it has been worked and how much more time it can work, so that what the load we can give, all those analysis can be made. Okay, this is the one thing I have told you.
and act immediately to capture that
But
value.
the audit schedule they have made, it is 1,000. Once it is reached the 1,000, there should be alarm for it that it should need a break. Okay, though it is a machine, it should need a break. No, so instead of manually seeing those things, we can have the sensors kind of thing to count how much it is working, how many hours it is working, or how many what to tell, oscillations kind of thing. Okay, it depends upon the machine what we are taking.
Specifically, manufacturers are using analytics to predict impending equipment failures, improve quality and market responsiveness by coordinating extended and complex supply chains, and better engage with their customers to develop.
I'm stopping this video here because otherwise I will be running out of time. Though the Internet of Things is a transformative movement in technology, particularly in manufacturing. In manufacturing, applies the concept of connected devices to power smart manufacturing. Everything becomes smart with the help of the IoT. Not to get the value out of IoT, obviously you need the AI. Okay, so in manufacturing, it becomes the smart manufacturing. The healthcare becomes the smart healthcare. The agriculture becomes the smart agriculture with the help of the IoT. Wherever the smart comes, there the IoT plays a role. This is the short summary of this IoT in manufacturing. In fact, the industrial internet, which combines the physical machinery, networks, sensors, and softwares that we have seen in the video itself. It is the physical machinery which is networked with the sensors and softwares, has extensive use and promise in manufacturing, including production optimization, product development, and aftermarket servicing. Okay, this is for the manufacturing. It is for the retails. Retails, you know, that is the shops, retail stores. So in hotels, if you take the hotels, the cognitive systems should be there that to know the taste of the customer. Otherwise, if you are going for the malls, in malls, what type of shops we can have in the malls, say for example clothing or a restaurant or a food court kind of thing. Okay, so it all depends upon the expectations of the customer as well as the frequency of the customer using those things. Okay, so to it unites data analytics and marketing process across locations. So obviously they often use IoT connected devices like RFID inventory tracking, chips, cellular and Wi-Fi systems, beacons, and smart shelves. This is a smart shelf is a very good thing. Say for example, if you imagine each and every shelves in the supermarket is having the sensors in it, then it is easy for the organization or the owner of the supermarket to know which product is going to exhaust actually, and also which product is moving soon. So these kind of things can be done with the help of the sensors. Okay, so I am giving a sweeping of these things. So the cutting edge technologies here, the technology can be used to have a comprehensive view of your customers and business. Here, no matter where it comes from or where it resides, right? So that is the customer information mapping technology has to be done. That is, you should have a comprehensive view of those things. And another thing is automated large scale forecasting. Forecasting in the sense, the retailer should not sell the things which are not in season. Say for example, in the summer we cannot sell the sweaters, right? And in the winters you cannot sell the summer clothes. This is obviously the things. So underlying trends, what the trend actually now in this COVID pandemic time, all the cloth shops, so textiles, even from the platform to the high-end malls, they started to sell the mask. Okay, so this is nothing but the underlying trend. The underlying trends is seasonality, promotions, that is the offers, what the offers we can give, so that the customers can have a good opinion. Also, you should have a maximum profit. So these things, promotions, inventory effects, and more. So these things can be done for the forecasting in case of the forecasting, and high performance predictive analytics. So regarding this, I am skipping this here in the retail because it takes much time. So here the retails are called as smart stores. Okay, earlier it is a smart hospital, here it is smart store. In the previous manufacturing, it is a smart industry. So this is the summary of this IoT in retails. So with IoT, we can now understand the context, that is the time and the place of the customer, to identify when we are certain the customer needs help or an incentive to purchase, or we can respond proactively. Underline proactively. Okay. Also, the differentiation with IoT will come from retailers' ability to sense, understand, and act on the data with analytics. So the next is the transportation and logistics. This is the smart vehicles. Here in transportation, we will be calling this as a smart vehicles. So in smart vehicles, the running of the engine, the speed, and the location tracking, that is the GPS enabled device, smart vehicles, and running time, all those things can be taken into account to improve the lifetime of both the vehicle as well as for the logistics also. So better logistics in the sense, suppose I am having a lorry company, so I have to allot the vehicle to my customers in a Ola. Best example is Ola. So which is this vehicle is nearby, so he will be receiving the call to pick up the particular customer. So this is the logistics. The better example is the Ola or Uber. Okay. So this is the transportation and logistics. Next, here also the root cause analysis, the cutting edge IoT capabilities to improve the root cause analysis, predictive asset maintenance. Here, instead of healthcare in patients and machine in industry and customer thoughts, customers' wishes in the retail, here the asset maintenance, we can predict the predictive asset maintenance. Asset is nothing but your vehicle itself. Okay, so this is the asset maintenance and automated monitoring. Here I am not giving the video right now because it takes time. And this is the smart cities. Actually, you have many avenues in working with the smart cities. Smart cities, right from driving, self-drive, even the self-driving cars comes under this smart city itself. The bunk and home, if you are having the smart home everywhere in your city, it becomes a smart city. Then the smart vehicles, all those things. Suppose I am having a smart vehicle, my fuel is, I am not noticing that fuel is going to down. So if the bunk is having that smart IoT kind of thing, while the car is crossing the bunk, it will give the alarm that your fuel is, why? Because everything is connected. The data has been shared with all the connected smart devices, so that we can fill the tank in when it is down. These things can be done. This is in case of the government, that is the entire smart city. So for this is the better engage with the citizens, ensure the availability of clean air and water. Say for example, you are having the water resources. If maintaining the water resources in the cities like in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, Coimbatore, the crowded cities like those things, water resources also a thing. So for that also we need the IoT solutions for those things. And regarding the clean air and water, in Delhi, the oxygen, they are now started to selling the oxygen for in hourly basis. Okay, so for the clean air and water, make neighborhoods safer. For these things, the cutting edge technologies, what it can do for this is, it can understand what the city is and how the citizens are, and it better informed, and service responsiveness. It will give the deliver the service responsiveness. So I am skipping this too. In energy sector, the energy may be a wind, that is the electrical energy or any energy. So you just imagine what the contributions you can do in the energy sector, that is improve the load forecasting performance, reduce uncertainties and generate value. During the cyclone period, actually this IoT in energy sector is the need of our to provide. Why? Because often this power cut will be made during the cyclone period. So how it can be managed, how the loads can be distributed to the industry, how it can be distributed to the home, what type of thing can be made. For these things, you can use the IoT in the energy sectors. And I am running out of time. Okay, so here also advanced predictive modeling is there. Comprehensive asset data is there. Smart meter analytics. Here it is a optimize smart meter deployment and manage timely customer communication. Say for example, in 1 month I am having a higher electricity bill. In the next month also higher than the previous, then it is reduced, then I am having a higher. I don't know why, what happened. So for that, some kind of sensors has been made. So which one is consuming more thing, how the electricity has been distributed kind of thing. And we can have a, we can either flatten the things, or at least we can know the why it is happened. So this is nothing but a smart meter deployment. And advanced yearly warning. Advanced, these things are actually, you can watch in all the sectors what I have discussed earlier. So these things are common. Predictive analytics is common, and the early warning analytics is also a common thing. And comprehensive view and improving the efficiency of the machine or human or anything. So these things are common with the help of this IoT in all the sectors. Okay, so actually I am having video for everything, but I could not do this. This is nothing but Sulandrum Erbinadu Ulagam, Adanal Ulandu Muravetale. This is a well-known Tirukural, but now it has become Sulandrum Kanini Binnadu Ulagam, because everything is running behind the system. It is not leaving the agriculture too. The agriculture sector is also depending upon this AI-enabled IoT for better decisions. For example, the crop disease infestations, that is to detect the crop diseases. It may be a leaf diseases, or it may be a stem diseases, or it may be due to pesticides or weeds. Okay, so to identify these things, you need the sensors. And the next is the lack of the storage management. That is Marayil Mulaitha Nathukal, Arachiyathal Alugum Nilayil, Arayam Nilmotegal. This is the recent meme I have seen during the cyclone. Here, the lack of storage management has happened due to, it may be due to biotic factors, or it may be due to abiotic factors like moisture and humidity of air and temperature, and biotic factors like insects, rodents, and birds. So what the sensors we can, from our side, what type of sensors we can contribute to this for the storage management? Some sensors has to be put in each and every stack, so that the temperature, if the temperature is getting reduced and moisture is increasing, it should give some alarm. Okay, so that kind of thing we can do in the agriculture. And pesticide control, too much of applying the pesticides, then the plant may die. This is also, this vastly it affects the production yield. Okay, so for that, what type of sensors can we deploy? So you can have a research over this also. This is the weed management. First, for the primemost thing is, we have to identify this is the crop and this is the weed in the particular crop. That itself is a big challenge. And lack of irrigation and drainage facilities. This is, I have told you, no, that is the water. This is the level of water. So for this, so many sensors are working for this particular thing. The sensors will be deployed here to know the moisture of the soil. If it is getting low, then the alarm will be generated, and this pipe will be triggered when it gets the alarm. So many things are interconnected here. So lack of irrigation and drainage facility is also an important sector in the agriculture. And climate smart agriculture is entirely depend upon this IoT. I am not playing this video here. Actually, it is called as a 3-win. One is production. You should have a maximum production, and your crop should be resilient to the climate, whatever the climate. It may be too hot, or it may be too rainy or too windy. The crop will be resilient to the climate changes. Okay, so this is the major goal in the climate smart agriculture. It is a very booming area. You can contribute more AI enabled IoT for this climate smart agriculture. And these are some of the ANN in agriculture. That is Comax. It is for cotton. This is also for cotton, and this is for soya, and this is also for soya. This is for the grading the apple fruit, pomi, and maize crop and paddy fields. In all the things you can identify, each one is specific to a specific crop. You can have a research of giving or developing an algorithm that is robust enough to handle at least some minimum of crops, like 5 crops or 10 crops, instead of going for a single crop. And these are all the challenges in the facing AI in IoT. First is a well-known thing, that is the compatibility. Why? Because as we all know, IoT is a collection of many parts and systems. They are fundamentally different in time and space. Then complexity is, and it may have a moving part and non-stop streaming of data. As non-stop streaming of structured and unstructured data is generated, that the complexity arises. And regarding the privacy, I have told you this can be resolved with the help of the blockchain technology along with the IoT. And ethical and legal issues, obviously, for example, a startup company will be there. So for them, the handling of these things becomes a problem, and the ethical and legal issues that arises. And last but not least, it's a artificial stupidity. That is back to the very simple concept of GIGO, that is garbage in and garbage out. So AI still need training to understand human reactions or emotions. The decision will make sense. That is what I am trying to tell is, never the machine replaces the human. Okay, so with the help of the human. Why? Because we are still in the artificial, already we are in the artificial narrow intelligence, and we are moving towards the artificial general intelligence. But moving towards the artificial super intelligence, at least it will take some 10-20 decades with the help of this AI enabled IoT. Okay, so this is the last conclusion, that is IoT data by itself, it is not the value. Just as with traditional data sources, its ability to take the insights and then act on them, that provides the value, actual value. So the IoT alone is not a good thing. AI alone is not a good thing. AI combined with the IoT data, then you can get a value out of it. Okay, so to know what to do in the moment, use analytics at the edge. So what next? So I have told you that I will be starting with 2 points and I will be ending with 2 points. The first point is, now after this workshop, surely that is, you are now a different person that you were a few days ago or even a few hours ago. You will certainly be more wise and knowledgeable after this program, provided you apply what you learn here. This is the one thing. The second thing is, this is the innovative and inspiring quote that everyone has to possess in your life. E equal to mc square. This is a very well-known quote. That is the equation where m is the motivation, c is the commitment. If you have a motivation to do your research or anything, and along with twice the commitment towards it, surely you will get the excellence in it. Okay, so with this, let's move towards the artificial general intelligence. And thank you for your attention and cooperation. I have shared what I know, and I'll find out what I don't from your questions. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you all the participants and all the organizers. Thank you all. This is my email ID. So if you have any queries or in future, if you want anything, any help regarding your research, you can write a mail to me. This is my mail ID. Thank you. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a one question at the chat box, ma'am.
There are smart IoT switches in home that control the switches individually. But my doubt is only one switch is used to control all the devices like smart meter. I cannot actually get your question itself. Can anyone repeat this? Actually, what he is trying to ask. With the help of the smart meter itself, whether we can do the things or not. That is entirely different. Smart meter is for the energy sector, and smart home is it is not contributing to the energy sector. It is comforting us to do the things, right? That is controlling. Even I'll be in the driving and I'll be controlling my AC machine, even the doors. Likewise, it is having the as like a coin. It is having both sides. Say for example, if I am having the face recognition as my door to open, face recognition to open, suppose I am having some injury in my face, I cannot open the door itself. Likewise, in all the smartness, there is also a weakness too. Okay, so the controlling each and every home appliances will be having its own control. It is different, and one switch cannot control all the things. Why? Because each and every sensors, as I said earlier, compatibility and complexity is a very big challenge. The data generated from every sensor, it may be different thing. Okay, the structure of the data will be different. Okay, so it will not match with the single switch. The single switch cannot control the entire home. I don't know. Actually, I think the question is posed this for that. I hope.
Thank you, ma'am. There is no more question from participants, I think.
Example, one switch is used to control AC and washing machine. No, obviously it is not. Why? Because at night time I will be using the AC and daytime I will be using the AC. But washing machine I cannot put in the night time. Preferably, no one will do that. I hope.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me conclude the session, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please.
Kind words are short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. I hope that her echoes are truly endless for us by this wonderful session. In this way, I would like to thank our today's resource person, Dr. K. Suganya Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, NIT Silchar, Assam, for providing the wonderful session on the topic of development of an IoT and AI-based applications. On behalf of organizing committee, we once again thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
I have
you, ma'am.
taken your time, your lunch time too. Sorry, kindly bear. It is your ocean. I tried to complete, but it takes some more time. Okay, so sorry for that. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you, organizers.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Bhaskar sir, may I leave?
Yes, ma'am, you can leave, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Dear participants, the day 3 session 8 attendance and feedback link is posted in chat box. Kindly fill it soon. It will be open up to 30 minutes only. Thank you all. And all the participants are requested to join the session 9 at 2:30 p.m. sharply. Thank you.